Right then, how are we all doing? Today's job is going to be changing out the leisure battery. That thing's packed up, absolutely gone. It's got its last legs anyway, like, but you can see the voltage on it, a bit of illumination on there. 10.4 volts, it's knackered that now. It's not even holding a charge anymore, so it's killed it off. This thing's beeping up like so. That'll be going in, and then we've got a replacement here, which is AGM. It's only 95 amp hour battery, but will do the job. Bloody doorbell. Yeah, so we're going to be fitting this AGM. Now that one's a standard battery, like liquid battery. Liquid lead acid battery is what they call them, something like that. And because we're upgrading it to an AGM system, I need to change quite a few things actually. So the actual solar panel, right, the actual, is it a PWM I think it was called? That's been whipped off because obviously that doesn't do AGM batteries. Well, it does, but it doesn't fill it up for the voltage wise. Because I think these are about 14.6 on the AGMs, whereas the standard one's like 14.2, so you always lose a percentage of your battery. It never really charges proper. Plus the PWM's crap anyway, because they're not the best for charging it, and it's only a cheap Chinese one. So what we're going to be upgrading that to is one of these Ring units. Solar panels going here, target battery, and then you know, most stuff what goes into it, and a temp sensor on that. Different functions. Quite mixed reviews on these, but built in. The reason why I bought this is because I needed the DC to DC relay. What I've got, well, the split relay charger, because this doesn't have a smart alternator on it. The split relay charger is knackered. Funnily enough, the battery's knackered, and then my split relay charger failed on me. Now they're about 40-50 quid for buy, but because I wanted to upgrade to an AGM system and upgrade the solar panel PWM, this thing has an MPPT built into it, and it's also a DC to DC charger, so it's kind of like works out alright actually. So I'll whip the split relay charger out, we'll join them wires, I'll show you that in a minute now what I'm going to do, and then we'll whip that battery out, stick the AGM one in, and then we can disconnect the PWM at the back. So that's going to be today's job. See how this gets on and see if it works. This is that split charger relay sensor thing here. It's absolutely knackered now, it's gone. I think it's burnt out or it's give up the ghost on it. But as you can see on it, it's got two wires. So this is the one that goes in the cab at the back here. That goes into the split charger and then comes out back at the bottom, fused at the top here and onto a battery. So what we'll do is disconnect them both from the batteries, so there's no live feeds going through it. Fucking hell's that? It's a massive fucking bug in there. It's like a cockroach or something. Ugh. And then there's two wires at the bottom here, so we'll split them, and what I'll do is I'll end up cutting this terminal off here, and then we'll just add that one then and make a new end on it, so we've got no splits in the wire. And then in the back, excuse the mess, kids again. And inside here, see if we can get a light on it so it makes it a bit brighter. More junk. You can see the two panel wires going into it, and obviously the two battery wires. So what'll happen there is the panel wires will be disconnected from that, and then I'll rejoin it to where it goes to the battery, and then vice versa. So we've got a continuous straight through on that one, so they're not going through the system. Let's see how that pans out. So we've got quite a lot going on there really with that, and there's quite a lot of components being changed, so it's pretty much like a rip out and redo the system really. But I'm not too sure what effect it may have on that charging system at the back. I'm hoping that the 240 system, everything stays wired in. It's just a simple swap in, swap out and join some wires and that, but you know what my jobs are like, they never go to plan. There'll always be something going on. See you in a minute. First job, seat out.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds of
Right, so just open back this split relay charging in there. There's no obvious signs in it and that, so it's probably something inside. What's gone? Bit of rusting inside there. You know that camera, but these have got terminals on, so that saved me a job, that actually. Nice. So we'll take that off there, reconnect it to the fuse, and that's that done.
Breathing in, hold tight, chemicals collide.
Right, so that's that bit all prepped up now, ready. Next step will be inside. Just make sure that's covered up so you don't get no charge going through it. And then next one, I think we'll go into the cab and get them wires swapped out. I always pick a job, me, when it's about 28 degrees in the daytime, and this van's like a bloody oven. It's sweating my tits off. Quick break and then back on it now. Cans of Coke, man. No wonder I gave fat. Empty that dump out, and we'll get to that. Got these things. Quid in Aldi. I think what, the 5 litre? You know, they bought it for the carton. Absolutely bob on for a van, like, nothing going away, because I don't use my tank in the bottom for drinking, and that's just like wastewater and washing dishes and shit. But there for £1, spot on. Right, these are solar panels, so ideally this will connect to the battery one, negative will connect to the negative battery one, and then what I'll do is, when we get down there, that's when I'll split them on that. So basically using the positive and negative batteries here as me run through on that one. God, that was so easy, that, but made it so complicated. Must be better, man. It's time for a beer yet. Let's get these done. Come on, crack on, lad. So, even though I've put a towel on the top of the panel and stopped some sun getting through, I am going to check this anyway, just to make sure, because last thing you want to do is start banging stuff. So we'll get them two on there. Dead as a doorknot. I'll just check these out of curiosity. Dead as a doorknot. You see, either one. Jack shitted them. So happy days. So we'll get these whipped out, joined, and then crack on with the battery bit.
Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies.
But yeah, that's them two wires now joined up. So these are straight from the panel. These drop down all the way through here, and then go through all my units down the back. And then next one there, I'm going to go down to the battery. And we need to see what's what down here now. This is where you get Jonesy gets his wiring house about tits and starts blowing the van up. Right, so work out now which one is the solar panel and which one is. Just get my head around this now. Do you know what? I bought a labelling kit for labelling wires up, and I'm kind of thinking I wish I'd used it now, because I haven't got a clue what half of these are now. So let's try to decipher now, trace these back. Oh, I've done it so anyone ever tackles a project like this, mark up your wires, lad. Get a label on them.
Because of you, dripping lights paint the sky.
These, that's just 2 cables I've made up now, pos and neg, and what these will do now, they'll go through to the target battery, as they call it. So some little bootlace fails on that end, and then some battery terminals on this one for it to stick on. So there you go. Right, so we just connected the bird's nest up now, and we're just going to check it and just give it a dry run, see if everything's all cabled up right and correct. So on here now, I've got a power and a fault light on, and it's showing me the battery at 12.7 volts. The power and fault, according to the manual, is the PV solar panel not banging and charging it, so we'll whip a table off there now on the cover, what I've had on it. I'll whip the cover off on it now, and we'll see if we get a charge off the panels. Sun's not so good, but we might get a bit. So that's all connections wired up now, battery wired up, and we have an error code. EO. That's what I thought. Fucking hell, it's EO. So back to the instructions, and then we'll have to see what's not working on this. Sort of all go straight forward. Right, so something random just happened then. So I've just been sat here now, left it, reading through instructions and that, and couldn't make out any detail because it's saying there's no solar panel power going through it or no connection, you know, to the main battery. And all of a sudden it flipped on, then it come on and it showed a charge. So I'm thinking looking at that, me being a bit retarded and all that stuff. Obviously it's bad sun now, so not much sunlight, so there's no solar charge going into it. Because the keys are not switched on, there's no power going into it, so it's going to show an error saying there's no juice going into it. So what I'm going to do now is turn the engine on, see if I can get a charge through it, because it did flash up then and it looked like my solar panel got a bit of power to it and started pouring some juice into it, because you could see it was actually bulk charging. But I can't change any settings on this until it's actually got power going to it, which is quite random because it just won't let you in the menus at all. So we'll start the engine, see if that clears it, and if it is, where the van blows up. There you go, straight away, mob. So I thought it was. So get rid of this. So now that's charging 14.2. Now we need to change that. And to change that, we hold the menu. 2 seconds. 1, 2. Right, so that's it. But we want AGM 14.6. We'll press enter button on that one. And then we want to change that to 14.6. Menu button to save that one. So I'm just reading through these instructions here. There's a section where they changed it for the cut on and cut off voltages, so I'm going to go through that in a minute. I'll just put it on video there like we see it, but I won't talk through it. But it basically, when the unit kicks in to take power from the main battery, which is like the driving battery, it doesn't take it too high or wait too long or drain the old battery and that. So I'm just going to set these up now and then I'll come back to you. So that's actually working. I am surprised. Very surprised. They've got all the connections, the bird's nest, all that crap, all that done first time, and in the back and under the hood in one hit. Totally shot. So next job, tidy the bird's nest up. This is what I'll probably do, knacker some up, and then stick my seat back on, and happy days. A job well done. Right, so it turns out that error code what I had for my solar panel, it was intermittent, it came on, came off again. When I was reconnecting the back wires from the PWM, the fuse holder was actually faulty, which I'm glad I found it really. So I ended up buying a new fuse holder for that one, and then basically putting all that together, and boom, straight away it picked it up. And the reason was the voltage, because it was intermittent, there weren't enough voltage going through it. It was connected, but it weren't a really good connection through it. And the ring unit runs 10 volts minimum, so obviously because there was like something like 7 volts going through it, it never picked up the panel. It was showing the error code on it. Now I still think it's, even with the panel on now, so when the engine's not running and the panel's turned off at night time, it still shows an EO number and then it goes to sleep, which I think they really need to update the software on that one, just to get rid of that error code, because it's not really an error, it's just not, it's in sleep mode straight away, but it does go into sleep and that. And but like I said, yeah, that was the issue with the error code on that. So cheers for watching. Leave a comment in the section down below if you've got any questions about how it's installed and how it's going on. But touch wood, it's been good. I have had a little issue with solar priority, because with solar priority, what that does on it, it prioritises solar over the alternator, which, yeah, saves fuel and stuff. And a few people said it, you know, it's brilliant. But what I noticed was, if my panels are not producing enough power, and I'm going on a journey somewhere, say if I'm going on a drive somewhere, and the panels are just giving, like, you know, a bit of juice but not much, the battery's not fully charged when I get to where I need to go. So just be aware of that if you do use solar priority. You know, you got to make sure your batteries are fully charged up when you're going on. It just trickle charges it then. But like I said, I didn't, so I did okay. But like I said, leave a few comments down below, and if you like this sort of content, give us a thumbs up. Nice one. See you later.